Christopher, speaking of Proton, what do you think about the statements Andy Yen made in support of the Republican Party from Proton's public-facing social media accounts? Oh God, yeah. So I guess we're getting into the hot stuff today. So first off, Andy has already posted a lot of like pro-Republican stuff well before that. So anyone who's been following Andy's like Twitter thread would know that like his political statements have been fairly public for a while now. And I think that's okay. Like, you know, like just because you're a CEO of a company doesn't mean you're not entitled to have opinions, especially if they're shared from your own personal account. I think that's cool, right? I think the problem is that obviously, and they really try to like make this act like it didn't happen because they deleted it. They said it didn't happen originally, and then they said, fine, it did happen. But they got rid of all evidence of it outside of what people archived. They did publish like a formal political statement from the official Proton account. Their official stance on this now is that Andy didn't mean to post it from that account. But either way, I think that's pretty bad. Like, it's bad for a company like Proton to try to make what should be a pretty bipartisan issue, which is digital rights and privacy, security, things that are attacked like from both sides of the aisle, right? Like I just had this conversation on our forum today because people are going after the UK and saying, well, the UK is run by center left. You know, if they were center right, then they wouldn't have the whole UK end-to-end encryption ban. But like, guys, what country just last week pressured Signal and WhatsApp to build a backdoor into their encryption? It's Sweden. And what's Sweden's current government? It's center right. And what do we see in the US? We see people on the right and the left attack privacy. We see this globally, how both the right and left attack privacy. So if anybody is, you know, making this about politics, it's probably not because one party is more likely than the other to attack what we care about. It's just that that person has an inherent bias against the other party, and they're blaming the party as if it can't happen on their own ends. But it can happen on both ends. We see people on the left and the right attack encryption, attack privacy, attack security. So that's why I think it was really stupid for, whether it was a mistake or on purpose, for Proton to make a formal statement like that, especially when it's in regards to US politics and they're not even an American-based company, so it doesn't really impact them directly. So those are my thoughts. It's kind of why, if you follow like my personal feeds, you might get some political takes here and there from me, but I try to not have those reflect Techlore things. And yes, you know, I know a lot of you right now are saying, well, privacy, encryption, it's inherently political. It is. It's something that needs to be like political because it is a political topic. It's a right. It's something we deserve access to. But that doesn't mean it's a partisan issue. And I think that's the problem. We can talk about something in a political way and not make it a partisan issue. And I think that's kind of my issue with this, is that it's segmenting like an already segmented community for no reason. So just my general thoughts. So if I would love to hear your guys' thoughts too. If anyone followed the Proton saga, it's kind of hard to find the info now because they deleted evidence of it, and luckily some people archived it. But I wasn't really happy about that because it's already hard to convince people you know to move to Proton, and like, you know, having one more reason to not use Proton is just not helpful to anybody, especially them. Oh, and sorry, just to finish this out, Christopher asked, do you think that a company like Proton taking partisan stances is something to be weary of? I think it's something to be weary of. I don't think it's something to like avoid them over, if that makes sense. Like, if you obviously like, if you have a line in the sand of like your political takes and now you know that this company posted something that you don't agree with, I don't think you shouldn't like act on that. That's not what I'm saying. I just think that like that wouldn't be my go-to recommendation for the average person, especially because I know there's people in Proton who don't agree with the things that are posted. So even the company itself and probably even the board members don't agree with what happened, which is probably why they had to delete the statement. So yeah, I think it just makes it harder for people to use better tools, and I think that sucks, and that's why I'm like really against what happened. This clip came from our main channel, Techlore, where we talk about digital rights and how to keep yourself and the people around you safe online, as well as just reclaiming a little bit more ownership. If you enjoy this content, want more nuance, and want a little bit more of a deep dive, check out our main channel here on the screen or in the description, and we'll see you there.